I just had a vision of how to tell whether you love yourself or not. Imagine the deepest love you've ever felt for someone else. How much do you love them? How good do you feel when you're near them? Remember the best hug you've ever experienced. Hold on to that feeling, what that feels like. And project it out like you're sending that person your love, like you always do, right? You send that out to them because you want them to know how much you care, right? You send that out and imagine it hitting a mirror and coming back at you. What does it feel like? Do you feel like you're glowing? Do you feel seen? Do you feel loved? It's a hard question. If you don't feel like you're basking in the sun, in God's presence, if you don't feel unconditionally loved and seen and whole when that reflection hits you, then you don't fully love yourself. You still got work to do. That's the feeling you're looking for. So, if you get to feel what you're projecting out to other people and what you feel is good, right? That's what love feels like. And it comes back and you still feel empty. You still feel unsure. You still feel gross. You still feel ugly. You still feel unlovable. Then I have good news for you. Truly. You can fix that. You have to learn how to love yourself. And it's hard. It's a journey. But oh my God, is it worth it? Because where you're at now, living in a world without unconditional love, and you may feel like you give it to other people, but if you don't give it to yourself, it's impossible for you to give it to other people. Because you can only project out what you already have in here. And if you don't have unconditional love for yourself, you cannot have unconditional love for other people, because the love comes from in here. It doesn't come from out here. It comes from in here. They can attract it. They can turn it on. They can turn it off and on, but it's in here. It's all in here. And that's good news, because that's something you have control over. This is all yours. You can do whatever you want with what's in here. Nobody can take it from you unless you allow them to. Sometimes, against your will. So I can't say nobody can take that from you. What I can say is that you're the only one that can take it back. Someone takes something from you, take it back. Take your energy back. Take yourself back and your soul back. Every little bit of it that you farmed out to other people. Every burden that you are carrying that is not yours. And you will know whether it's yours or not if it is actually happening to you, not next to you. To be clear, in an example, let's say my dad had cancer. That's not happening to me. That's happening to my dad. It's happening next to me. That's his experience. I'm growing up in a family with a dad who got ill. Now, I can choose how much of that becomes part of my experience and part of my identity. Because it happened next to me. It didn't happen to me or in me. It happened next to me. It was in my environment. I hope this is making sense for people, because it makes sense to me. And it's never made sense to me before like this. So I'm hoping this is helpful. Anything that's happening in my environment, I cannot control. I cannot control that my dad had cancer. I can control whether or not I suffer. That's a weird thing to say, because my dad did die of cancer when I was 13. And it's been a big part of my identity. But it doesn't need to be. I would rather, if I were to choose what I remember about my father, what I tell people about my father, instead of the first thing always having to be, oh yeah, my dad died when I was 13. He had cancer. Everything about my dad was in my environment. It was next to me. I could not control anything that my dad said, I am very blessed and lucky that my dad was very loving. I believe he was an earth angel. Because he had a really big tumor when he died. That's a lot of trauma. It's a lot of pain to carry. That wasn't all his. Anyway. That can happen if you take on other people's energies, if you take on other people's burdens, things that are theirs. If you take them on as yours, that's a boundary that you're crossing, and it is sucking you dry. And you're so drained, literally drained of your energy, that you can't even think about, thinking about trying to love yourself is non-existent. What's that for? Why would I put energy into that? I have no energy anyway. I don't even know myself that well. I don't think I want to. It's every time I look at it, it's painful. So this is what we do. But I can tell you, fresh from the side that you're on, it's worth it. Because compared to how I feel now about myself, how much I love myself, how good it feels to feel my own energy, how good it feels to receive compliments from people and let myself drink that in. And I mean like a flower drinking in the sunshine. That kind of drinking it in. It's nourishment to your soul when you love your soul. Just like seeing your kids do well, or seeing some, making somebody you love happy, or I don't know. Those are very empath examples, so I'm curious how others would describe that, what kind of examples you guys would give. Anyway, having gone through a pretty intense journey over the last 18 months of self-discovery, of understanding so much more about the universe and the U-inverse, and how my soul, how myself is, what it's comprised of, so that I can understand it better and unpack it and look at how it works. I'm the type that needs to understand how something works in order to accept it. But that's actually not true. Those aren't the right words. I don't know if I've got the right words. But I'll just being able to not decompress, not decompose, deconstruct. Being able to deconstruct the different pieces of what myself is made of and understanding how they work together and how the different voices in my head, and yes, I am saying different voices in my head, we all have them, unless you don't have an internal dialogue. But it's that, you know, I'm arguing with myself feeling, you know, it's you're watching yourself argue with your spouse, and you know that you could be wrong, but you don't want to admit. You feel so hurt that you want them to admit it first. And then maybe you'll admit that, okay, I did have this thing, maybe that contributed, you know? That's not a thing anymore. Once you like are good here, you feel that radiating love coming back to you. Once you fill all the holes, it feels so good. You feel so free. You feel like the Tin Man got his heart, or the Straw Man got his brain, or the lion got his courage. And you feel like Dorothy getting to go home. You feel at home. Self-love is the most important thing you can do. If you are miserable, if you are depressed, if you are just so frustrated, if you're sick, if you are struggling or suffering in any way, look in here. It's in here. It's not out there. That's just showing you that there's something in here that needs to be looked at and loved. And yes, I said loved, not judged. Because it's there, whether you like it or not. It's there. You have to look at it. And you have to be willing to know and accept that it's there and it's a part of you. You have to accept the fact that the potential lives inside of you to be the person that you hate. You could be that person. You could do those horrific things because you're human and so are they. We all have the same potential, and we all judge. We all judge what we think is foreign to us, what we think is different from us. And until we can actually recognize ourselves, fully accept ourselves, the moment we do that, there is no threat outside. There's none. You are free. It's time to learn how to love yourself. If you're looking for tips, a really, really great place to start, watch a couple episodes of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Or watch some clips about him. He was a master at loving his neighbor, and you can see what it looks like and feels like coming from a person who is whole on the inside. And if you run across any clips that feel outdated for my LGBTQ plus neighbors, I have another episode where I talk about that subject. So if you follow my advice and you come across something like that, I don't even want to leave a gap where I could send somebody to his videos and not hear that. So, hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, that just needed to come out. 'Cause I think self-love is a mystery to so many people still. It was for me, until I caught a glimpse of truth and wisdom in the corner of my eye. I just, like, I happened to try and pay attention. I saw a shooting star. That's what it was like. I saw a shooting star of truth. And I locked in on it. It was like, whoa. For me, that truth was, we are unconditionally loved by our Creator, no matter what name you use. Our Creator does not judge us. That's a human construct. That's an earthly thing, because we live in a world of light and dark, polarity, north, south, east, west, right, wrong, yes, no, black, white. Our Creator is so far above that. And, you know, it's basically universal understanding that God is love. The universe is love. Unconditional love. Period. And once you accept that, and then you find out that, oh, I'm actually not a child of God. I am a fractal of God. I am God observing the perspective of Lacey in this life. And so are you, not Lacey. You are giving God a whole different lens on life, on love, on loss, on what it means and feels like to be alive. All of us are contributing to that. Because it's exploring itself. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of information around that. If you're like saying, Lacey, what the hell are you talking about? This is insane stuff. There is all kinds of information about these things, and they are backed up by quantum sciences and philosophy, physics now, archaeology. I mean, so many different things are backing this up now. So a very highly respected podcast in my opinion is the Mayim Bialik's Breakdown. She's got a ton of scientific expert people on there that explore things. She is a neuroscientist herself, so she's a very critical thinker. So if you want to listen to real conversations that are open to reason in exploring things that make sense to explore, then I highly recommend that show. Mel Robbins' podcast is another. If you want more of a mystic side of things, then I recommend Next Level Soul and Emilio Ortiz's channel, Just Tap In. There are many others that I watch as well, but those are some that have a good range of, if you want to, listen to the experts to get started. And and actually the main gateway for me was near-death experiencers. Listening to probably 100 of them by now, near-death experience interviews, and how similar they are, how different they are too, but understanding the judgment is not God, it's what we go through. It's called a life review, where we experience our lives again, not only from our own perspective, but also from the perspective of the other people in these moments of our lives. And we feel how those people felt as them, not as us in their bodies. We feel it as they felt it. So we truly feel the effect of the things that we do and say in our lives here. That's the judgment. We are reviewing our own lives and going through them and experiencing them from all the different perspectives and seeing all of the ripple effects that we had on those around us and through our environment, whether positive or negative. And so that we can understand and see, oh, yeah, okay, that I would do that differently this time. Wow, I had no idea it would have that big of an impact. That's good to know. I'll do more of that next time. It is, I understand that it sounds scary. But if you're seeking wholeness, if you're seeking happiness, true happiness and joy and peace in your life, if that sounds good to you, understanding how you affect the world around you and what you are doing with your very limited time here on Earth in this life. You only have one chance to live this life. Your soul will live on and have other lives, but this is the only time this one comes around. There aren't any other Lacey's. You get to feel the effect of that. And that is a profound gift. If you live with regret, if you are struggling to get over things in the past, it is medicine to your soul. It's a lighthouse. It's hey, don't do that, do that. This feels good, this doesn't feel good. And you see how valuable you are, too. Like, if you feel like you have no effect on the world, if nobody cares, if you've never helped anybody or made a difference, guess what your life review shows you? It's humbling. And it makes you really, really, really value the time that you have here. And it makes you want to do better. I know this has gone kind of off on a rabbit trail. This is what I do. This is how my brain works. So I want to bring it back around and just say, self-love is the remedy. If you're afraid of dying, it's because you don't love yourself. Truly, wholly. It also could be that you don't know in your bones that there's life after death, that this isn't it, or that there isn't eternal suffering for you on the other side. But that all has such a beautiful, beautiful answer too. The answer is it's our choice. We have free will. We are creators. If we believe that we should go to hell, or we're going to go to hell, we could go to hell. We could create that. The good news is, every single one that I have watched and listened to or read that has had a negative experience after dying have said the moment they called on love, the light, Jesus, and Krishna, Kuan Yin, Buddha, any God, Archangel Michael, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Yogananda, any of the people or the entities that we know carry the light. The moment they ask for help, help comes. And they are taken away from that place. If that is hard to believe, then I really, really want to encourage you to do some research, to listen to some interviews. Listen to your heart. What feels true? Because love is always truth. Because God is love. If you want to know the truth, look for the love.